Hello friends, last time we have explained about phagocytosis. Today we will explain other functions of cell membrane one by one. So first important function of cell membrane, that is a transport. The membrane or the plasma membrane or cell membrane which allows the passage of solvent but not of a solute is called as a semi-permeable membrane. So, the plasma membrane serves as a semi-permeable membrane because it allows only certain substances or materials to pass through it, and thus is called as a semi-permeable membrane. Not all substances are allowed to pass through the plasma membrane, and thus is called as a semi-permeable membrane. So, the while transport, the membrane allows the passage of solvent but not of a solute is called as a semi-permeable membrane. A membrane which permits one substance, a membrane which permits or allows one substance to pass through more easily than another is said to be selectively permeable. Thus, the membrane allows the passage of both solvent and solute. Thus, the plasma membrane allows the passage of both solvent and the solute. Molecules diffuse, various biomolecules diffuse from greater concentration to the lower concentration regions. The difference in the concentration level, is called as concentration gradient. So, while the process of diffusion or the passive diffusion, the there is a simply a transport of biomolecules from the region of higher concentration to the region of lower concentration, that is along the concentration gradient, and such a process of diffusion does not require any energy or ATP for the process of transport. But on the other hand, the process of osmosis, that is also a transport of biological compounds or the molecules through the plasma membrane from the region of lower concentration to the region of higher concentration, and utilizing the energy or the ATP is called as osmosis, or is also called as active transport. Osmosis is the diffusion of water or a solvent across a membrane in response to the concentration gradient. So, transport of the molecules across the membrane may be active or a passive. In active transport, molecules usually move in active transport, molecules or biomolecules usually move or pass from the regions of low concentration to the region of high concentration, that is against concentration gradient, and thus it requires energy and depends upon ATP supply. While in passive transport, the passage of molecules occur through the membrane from a region of high concentration to a region of low concentration. Transport of metabolites or the molecules across the membrane along the concentration gradient, that is without the use of energy, that is without the use of energy and without the use of carrier molecule is called as a simple diffusion. So, the process of simple diffusion, that is without aid or the use of carrier protein or the membrane protein or the channel protein, that are not utilized, that are not mediated while the transport of the biomolecules during the process of diffusion. So, this is just a process of simple diffusion, and simple diffusion there may be a facilitated diffusion also, which requires either channels or the carrier proteins, but that will also not spend or require any energy for the process of diffusion, maybe simple diffusion or the facilitated diffusion, does not require any energy and thus is a type of passive transport. So this is about the transport of the various biological compounds or the materials through the plasma membrane. So transport, so this is the important function of the cell membrane, may be in the form of active transport or the passive transport of the biological compounds or the materials or various substances, might be nutrients, might be proteins, vitamins, enzymes, minerals, ions that are passing through the plasma membrane, as it is called as a semi-permeable membrane. So it allows the free passage of certain molecules through the process of passive transport, might be a diffusion or might be facilitated diffusion. But in the process of active transport, there may be use of pumps or the carrier proteins, and which requires energy, and the process of this active transport taking place from a region of low concentration to the higher concentration of the respective material. So this happens, active transport usually occurs or happens against the concentration gradient with the use of energy, and thus is called as active transport. So the process of either active transport or the passive transport taking place through the semi-permeable plasma membrane of the respective cell. So this is about the transport. Then secondly, the plasma membrane provides protection to the cell. So the plasma membrane or the cell membrane, which enclose the cellular components, that is the cytoplasm and the nucleoplasm, or may form a protective covering of the cells and thus providing protection to the cell from the extracellular or undesired substances to the cell. So cell membrane provides protection as it encloses the cytoplasmic contents or the cellular components inside. So this provides the function of protection. Then it also gives a particular shape. Plasma membrane gives a particular shape to the cell, even it performs the function of storage. So number of components, thousands of substances, materials, either organic or inorganic substances, cell organelles, number of membraneless components which are stored in the cytoplasm of the cell. So it plasma membrane performs the function of storage. So storage of thousands of substances in the cytoplasmic matrix or in the contents of the cells, and thus performing the function of storage also. Then third function, that is cell recognition and adhesion. Cell recognition and adhesion. The mammalian leukocyte, that is white blood corpuscles or WBCs, recognize foreign substances or the cells or the antigens or pathogens like bacteria and engulf them by phagocytosis. The sites for the cell recognition, or receptors are found on the surface of the plasma membrane. So there are some sort of chemical recognition or cell recognition site, may be receptors, are present on the surface of the plasma membranes of the cells. The next function, that is antigen specificity. The glycoproteins or the proteins present on the surface of the cell membrane determines the antigen specificities of the cell. Means the cells allows or permits the certain substances or certain foreign substances or antigens into the cell. So this is determined by the presence of the glycoproteins or the certain cell receptors which are present on the surface of the cell membrane. So the glycoproteins on the surface of the cell membrane determines the antigen specificity of the cell. The different blood group systems, we know the different blood group systems, that is ABO system or Rh factor, are all based on the antigenic properties of the RBC's membranes. The ABO blood group system is based on the relationship between the antigens on the RBCs and the antibodies of the blood serum. The determinants, the antigenic determinants on the surface of erythrocytes or RBCs are mainly glycolipids. So, antigen specificity, that is also brought about by the plasma membrane to the cells like RBCs. So, red blood corpuscles which are having this property of presence of glycoproteins on the surface of cell membrane, which determines the antigenic specificities, that is the entry of respective antigen or the reaction between the particular antigen, and this type of antigenic specificity is found on the RBCs or the red blood corpuscles, and the example is the ABO blood group system. The ABO blood group system is based on the relationship between the antigens on the RBCs and the antibodies of the blood serum. The antigenic determinants on the surface of erythrocytes are mainly in the form of glycolipids present on the surface of plasma membrane of the RBCs, which are in the form of glycolipids. Antigenic determinants which are present on the surface of plasma membrane of the erythrocytes are mainly composed of glycolipids. Then next function performed by the plasma membrane, that is hormone transport. So various hormones or chemical messengers secreted or released by the endocrine glands, which are powered or released into the bloodstream, which are carried through the circulatory system or blood circulation, and are then provided to the different type of cells wherever they are required. So hormone transport, hormones controlling cellular mechanism. So there are different type of hormones which are controlling cellular metabolism or different tissues and organs. The cell membrane contains the receptors which recognize specific hormones and convey the information to the interior of the respective cell, and this stimulates a change in the metabolism of the cell. So hormone transport is also an important function of the plasma membrane or the cell membrane in a various type of cells. Since there are various type of hormones which are provided to the cells, supplied to the cells as per their requirement or as per their requirement of metabolism inside. So hormones which control the cellular metabolism that are supplied to the respective cell and which are passing through the cell membrane containing specific receptors which recognize the specific hormone and convey or pass the information to the interior of the cell, and this stimulates a change in the metabolism of the cell. So this is a hormone supply to the cells. So hormone transport is also an important function performed by the plasma membrane or the cell membrane of the respective cells, receiving the specific hormones so as to carry out the cell metabolism of the respective cell. Then another function, that is oxidative phosphorylation. Oxidative phosphorylation. The inner membrane, we know the inner membrane of the plasma, the inner membrane of the mitochondria and the plasma membrane of the bacteria containing the electron transport chain, which plays an important part in the cell respiration. Oxidative phosphorylation, the process of oxidative phosphorylation which is taking place in the mitochondria or the inner membrane of the mitochondria and the plasma membrane of the bacteria containing electron transport chain, which plays an important part of the cell sorry which plays an important part of the cell respiration, that is a process of uh, oxidative phosphorylation. And this chain consists of series of components which can transfer the electrons. Electrons from the substrates pass down the chain, resulting in a reduction and oxidation of each component. So the process of reduction oxidation reaction taking place with substrates releasing the electrons, so which can transfer the electrons. So the inner membrane of the mitochondria and the plasma membrane of the bacteria containing electron transport chains, which plays an important part of the cell respiration, and this consists of a chain and a series of components which can transfer the electrons. So electrons from the substrates pass down the chain, resulting in reduction and the oxidation of each component, and during this process there is a decrease in a free energy. During this process there is a decrease in a free energy, about half of which is utilized for the synthesis of ATP, and this process is called as oxidative phosphorylation. So this process of oxidative phosphorylation is performed by the plasma membrane or the inner membrane of the mitochondria or the membranes of bacteria, called as oxidative phosphorylation, that is the supply of energy for the oxidation reduction reaction in the cells. Then next function, seventh function, that is endocytosis and exocytosis. In certain cells, endocytosis is an important activity in which material is transported into the cell by formation of vesicles. As already we have explained, the process of pinocytosis and phagocytosis are the examples of endocytosis. So, while endocytosis, certain liquid contents or the solid contents are trapped or taken up into the cytoplasm of the cell, either by the process of pinocytosis, that is cell drinking, or the process of phagocytosis, that is cell eating, occurring through the plasma membrane or the cell membrane, is called as endocytosis. So in certain cells, endocytosis, that is pinocytosis and phagocytosis, cell drinking and cell eating are the important activities in which the materials are transported into the cells by the formation of vesicles, may be pinocytic vesicles or the phagocytic vesicles, resulting into the process of endocytosis, that is transport of liquid materials or the solid materials into the cells by the process of pinocytosis and phagocytosis respectively are the examples of endocytosis. Similarly, it includes two processes, that is phagocytosis or pinocytosis. This includes the process of endocytosis includes the two processes, namely phagocytosis, that is cell eating, receiving or engulfing or eating or absorbing solid particles or the substances, and other, that is pinocytosis, receiving or consuming or absorbing liquid substances through the plasma membrane, called as endocytosis. Exocytosis is a process in which membrane lined material is removed from the cell. Exocytosis is a process Exocytosis is a process of removal of certain substances from the cell to the outside, called as exocytosis. So exocytosis is a process in which membrane lined material or membrane bound material is removed or discharged from the cell to the outside is called as exocytosis. The next function, that is chemoreception. Molecules associated with the cell membrane, molecules associated with the cell membrane responds to variety of stimuli called as chemoreception, or the response of chemical stimuli is shown by variety of organisms from bacteria to the mammals. So there are all type of cells, right, from bacteria, protozoa or metazoa, that is protozoans to the metazoans. So all type of cells or the all type of organisms, they shows the chemoreceptions. Chemoreception means molecules associated with the cell membrane response to variety of stimuli called as chemoreceptions, or the response to the chemical stimuli is shown by variety of organisms or variety of cells from bacteria to the mammals. The ninth function of the plasma membrane, that is the transmission. The transmission or the transport of nerve impulse taking place at the membrane of the nerve cells or the neurons. So transmission of the nerve impulses might be in the form of sensory impulse or in the form of motor impulse, which are passing from sense organs to the central nervous system, or the responses which are carried in the form of motor impulses from the central nervous system to the effectors, that is the glands or the muscles, and this happens through the neuron or the nerve fibers. So the function of transmission is also performed by the plasma membrane of the uh, neurons or the nerve cells, or the plasma membrane of the nerve cells or the neurons. So transmission of the nerve impulses taking place along the membrane surface of the nerve cells or the neurons. So these are the some of the important functions performed by the plasma membrane. Then one more point called as that also will explain, that is membrane receptors. So membrane receptors are the macromolecules. Membrane receptors are macromolecules. Membrane receptors are macromolecules that have the dual function or the double function of recognizing chemical signal and initiating the biological response. So there are certain membrane receptors which are also found on the surface of plasma membrane in the form of macromolecules, which have double function of recognition of the chemical signal, receiving chemical signal, or recognition of the chemical signal and initiation of the biological response, called as membrane receptors. So several cellular regulatory agents, several cellular regulatory agents such as peptide hormones, neurotransmitters, are called as ligands, and these are representing the membrane receptors or the examples of the membrane receptors. So these are the membranes of the these are the examples of the membrane receptors called as several cellular regulatory agents, several cellular regulatory agents, examples of which are peptide hormones or the neurotransmitters, which are called as ligands, and they act as chemical signals. They act as chemical signals which are recognized by such receptors. They act as a chemical signals and which are recognized by such receptors. At the receptor site, there is a specific type of binding that involves a ligand receptor interaction. At the receptor site, as at the receptor sites on the plasma membrane, there is a specific type of binding site there is a specific type of binding which involves a ligand and receptor interaction. Ligand receptor interaction. Several kinds of receptors, several type of receptors produce a response by interacting with the enzyme adenylate cyclase within the membrane. So this is an example of the uh, this is an example or the reaction occurring along the surface of plasma membrane by means of receptors or the ligands, that is chemical recognition site or the binding site, and the initiation of response through the ligand receptor interaction taking place on the surface of plasma membrane of the different cells. Several type of receptors produce response by interacting with the enzyme adenylate cyclase within the membrane. As a result, cyclic AMP is produced from the ATP. Several receptors that are specific, several receptors that are specific for different ligands may act on a single type of adenylate cyclase. So these are the different functions performed by the plasma membrane. These are the various functions performed by the plasma membrane uh, of the cells. So with this we'll stop here. Next time we'll explain uh, the structure and function of microvilli and the subsequent topic, that is shell junctions. Thank you.